Oh. Operation line screens and communications. All levels of third eye is in track line interference. Everything that I do is all position of spacing line center. Now it's trying to understand all is in position locations. Hologram of the earth line center is in high position. The activation core is an in-line position line activation core system. Calculation modifications. I sent a very powerful TikTok on cybertronics, cybergenetic interference coming into programs and so many line center channels in communication line system rotation. So it affects everybody in high rotation. It's important to understand these things on that level. Also, with that connections, I also sent TikTok about 3 minutes about notifications. I'll be going live every day and telling you exactly when I go on. So you don't have to worry about the live. You don't have to worry about notifications. Just go on TikTok and click the subscribe button. Okay. Pause and interference is truly saying where I'm traveling through the recognition line center. Now in position. It's an emotional day for your general because um, it's my mother's birthday and on physical line interference, November 3rd. So it's emotional content. You guys will feel a little bit more vibrational interference where it comes into high levels of high positions into the angelic line center. So, and that's going to be an all day thing, right? Because that's what your birthday is. Birthday is given to you, right? For all reason in 1 year track system. That's why we have one birthdays once a year. And it's all about understanding how we go in positions and how we get high rise of getting taller, right? Getting more knowledgeable, getting more wisdom, getting the characteristics, getting our disciplines. Birthdays are great in a way of form. They come into high level position and they uprise your body system, believe it or not. And because you're not aware of that, that's what I'm saying is that we have to get more in connection to our systems and a program activation core line center. So everything that we do now from here on in, the third eye is going to come into a higher pattern interference. All right. The cybertronics is going to change the line interference line connections to all levels of your shape. So it's set in position. Now you have to understand what the program is, and it's all position to 5D track system locations. If it gets complicated, that's fine. Go to your general, DM me, all positions, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. All right. So the more you get the questions, the more you get the answers. And that's when we come across line conditions. So basically today we're going to get involved with, we're going to travel. Okay. It's already set up the line center. So you guys are going to be in a cube line center. That's going to be in a metric lock in a dimensional setting. So I'm going to put you guys in different sequencing line connections at quadrant level position. So you're going to be a square cube locations on every divisional level. Now you're going to get connections to electrical door line, panels and interference channels. There's going to be switches on the wall. There's going to be codes that are given to you through notification line centers. It's going to change the track line center to position line conditions. You guys have to understand how to use your mind of thoughts in high force line center. Now for all the viewers, all new viewers on TikTok or anybody else information that's new here, just try to get into more your position, what's going on. Pay attention to this. I can get you in a high position if you go to my email and I can explain what's happening with the spacing line center of you through calculations. All right. But for the team, is for them to understand more because they're in a higher level and they have to learn how to get out of their own strategic line center rotations. So they can understand more Pacific levels, right? And everything through calculations, how to travel here, how to travel there, how to open a door, how to use code line centers because they're coming into finger points. And the hydraulics and electrical lights is going to high rise your panels and information to your mainframe connections. All right. So they know exactly what is going on through calculations. It's all about precognition and seeing everything through its line system rotations, the external and everything through that line system, multiple level systems to its perception line connections. The metric line system is position locations, right? So humanity is coming into the metric lines. Then the metric lines is set up through the hologram, which is connected to the integration line circle. That's connected to all levels of your penile gland interference. Now, if you understand what it is through cybertronics. Cybertronics is a high line center. Now it's a communication to your program positions. It high positions your graphing connections of frames. That's how you come into higher line centers of communication to yourself and to each other. But it's all in digital code. All right. It's a triangle line center rotation to all positions every 3, 6, 9 platforms. You have to come into your code signaling. You have to come into your code activations. You have to come into high levels of rotation. So let's get started, shall we? I'm going to set up the structure line interference. Any questions or comments, you can go through my head channel rotations. Now I took the ear figure rotation line interference off through locations. Audio channels line rotation. So we're okay through line conditions. I can't interception when I'm doing that through position, especially if I'm traveling to high level system rotation. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set up a structure line. Okay. So basically, it's kind of like a building, but you guys are in a cube line center. And that cube line center is going to change second per second per second. So when you walk into the room that you're in, you're going to be in a square box. And that square box is going to be set up for all of you through conditions. All right. So it's going to square reference line position. All right. We're going to go through calculations like this to track system. All right. So we start off with this position. So you guys are going to go through this. Now, it's a plasma box. That plasma box is going to set up. So it's graphed system to frame line center. Now, frame line center is positional line conditions. So we're coming into high level rotations, walking the surface, the location line conditions, walking into line condition rotation. Okay, so basically you guys are going to be set up in all of the rotations. All right, so here we go. All right. All right. All right, so I'm just setting up the maze. All right, so it's going to be tricky because you have to understand how it's all allocated in position of time lock system locations. I have to do specific line centers because it's operated through line position. I got this from Vega last night through line connections. So it's a graphing wall interference. It's a maze interference line connections. It high positions your line centers. So you have to truly understand how to go through the line connections and out the door through line division. All right. So there it is. Okay. Now, don't get alarmed. Don't get confused. Just try to understand what's going on right now. And this is you, right? This is all you. Now, anybody else that comes on line center positions, you'll be in the outside of the box line system because you have to be in an extremely high line center to understand everything that's going on through its high position of its major cube location. All right. So these are the door line centers. You're going to be activated through high rotation positions. You're given codes. Now those codes are going to change line interference. You're going to go through doors and doors and doors and doors. You have to come through the tunnel into the outline center to get it out of the major box location. All right. So I've given you 20 minutes to understand what's going on through each door line center. All right. So you guys are here and you're in your own cubicle line center rotation. You have to learn how to go through these doors into the tunnel division. All right. Have fun. So it's in the list. Calculate and modify. All positions are set up to you through calculations. Only the ones that are in 60 and in lines formations will go through the door line centers. Okay, it's already set through your positions, all right? I traveled and I set up the code line center rotations. Electrical doors are already set up. So you're given digital numbers of particle line conditions, all right? So, Samantha, how you doing? All right, so try to understand what's going on through travel records of time. Okay, this is you. You have to go through all this to get to this. All right, have fun. It's interesting when you come across these things. So it's kind of like you're in a plasma wall of a matrix lock interference that's dimensional setting. Your clocking system is set up to code line system rotations. You have to learn how to use your finger points and your barcodes of digital padding. The padding and its interference will open up all channels of electronic line connections to the cybergenetic interference. So 20 minutes, have fun. All right. So it's like being in a maze and trying to understand it. Okay. So, and it's all about understanding codes because they change very quickly, very fast. Right. So you can understand why the clocking system of 60 seconds goes slow. Just imagine where you're in space. Just imagine the dial spinning extremely fast. Right? So that's where you guys are at. And you have to understand the mind adaptation, and the strategic level is the connection to its program. And it's all position of you to get out of the calculations and get in and out of the tunnel surface. All right. So it's going to be confusing at first, but you guys are dropped off through rendezvous, right? Teleportation line center has already picked you up to locations. It's all about understanding the precognition. You guys will probably understand this when you wake up, or you've been through it already. If you've already been through it, then you're extremely high line center rotations, and it's already set up through the program. But this is coming from Vega Communication Line Center. So 20 minutes, have fun. Let me know what you guys discover. You have to learn how to get out of doors and get out of mazes line centers, because it's all communication line interference. So it's another way of putting yourself in activation and how you basically move forward in high line centers of your life system to program interference location. So everybody all right? Tina, Jill, Vicky, Smith, Cleopatra, Tina. This is going to be good for you, Tina. Okay. So, and it's a good experience for everybody, especially the ones that are in 60 communications. You have to stand all levels and high position locations, right? So it's kind of like a test, but don't think of it as a test. Think of it as a high rise. Think of it as, and the thing is, every time you go through digital line center, you go through an energy bubble, you go through a plasma line, you go through barriers and perimeters, you get upgraded. Every single time you understand the digital line codes, and it takes you out of trap doors and takes you into the defense line system rotations. So you have to get out of the plasma wall of the cubicle line center of the matrix line conditions. All right? But that's you guys right here. Okay. So. Yeah, very good. Amber, how's it going? Yeah. Each door key is a different hand signal. Yep. Very good, Joe. So you have to understand the communications. So if you need your help, that's fine. I don't want to help you all the way. You have to figure this out yourself so you can get in your finger lines and your communications. You have to understand how to use each one of these fingers, right? Because it's set up through its program. So it's digital lining, okay? And that's what it's all about, understanding, right? It's finger points. It's digital finger line center. It's all about understanding the graph line system of the lines. So you have lines in your finger, right? See that? See that? See how that connects? See the background changes to blue? So it's circle, 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 circle. That's your identification. Your thumbprint identifies you, right? So you have channel line centers, 5 digital numbers, and they change extremely fast. So you got to catch your perception. And when the door opens up, the plasma goes to that door, and you go to another door, until you understand position. So each time you open up the digital line center and the program line conditions, you get upgraded to the I line center. So yeah, it's more strategy, and that's what you want. So no, they're not meditating. No. Very lost. That's okay, Rex. Interesting name. In position, just watch. In communications, you feel the energy line centers, you feel the rotation spin cycles, you feel the vortex line off system. The communication line centers all level of you through positions. So you have any questions or comments, feel free to go to my email. It's down below. All right. Just basically watch, have fun, try to stand position what's going on. So Amber's in rotation line center, put her in the activation line conditions, high position locations, put in the metric cube line center, rendezvous line center rotation. All right, so Amber, you're in here right now, okay? This is you, right? This is all of you, okay? You have to go through this to get to here, but you have to go through electronic door line centers. So it's all strategy. It's all about understanding. Every time you go through these things, It gets you to higher level rotation and puts you in higher position locations of what you're doing through your finger points. Right? You have to learn how to travel through digital line numbers and communications. You're given digital codes. So it's like a scavenger hunt, and you're trying to understand how to get through these doors. And each door that you go through, you get an upgrade through the eye circle line connections. All right. Now, I don't expect the new people to watch to that position locations, but you can watch in high level of understanding what's going on when you go to higher level position. How fascinating it is when you're actually in space on a cubical line center of a matrix line dimensional lock connection. All right. So, all right. Blackbird, how's it going? Yeah, I know it's Blackbird. Yeah, your energy and its track system locations, but it's great to see you, Blackbird. Thank you for coming to my channel. So it's very complicated, Blackbird. You're talking to high-level rotations right now into space. This is real space. Everybody's going through their own cubicle. So it's kind of like you're dropping somebody off in the structure of a building, and they have to figure out how to get out of these things. It's like a maze, right? It's like the Matrix, but it's a high level of the Matrix, right? So, but yeah, just watch. You pick up the energy line centers. You might pick up colors. You might pick up some intelligence because you're in a high-rise line center. But the higher you go, the more you see. And you have to understand how to use all your senses in all ways and forms. My team, the Galactic Federation Light, have to understand how to use the finger points to the digital line centers and be able to go through these coloration line doors for electronic interference. So, yeah, you can get there, Blackbird. You just have to be patient. Patience is a virtue, right? There's a lot of people that have been with me for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. I also have the Rebellion Alliance. They're in 114 chakras, and they've been here for me almost 3 years. And that's royalty, knowing what you can learn from all aspects of your life. It's all about bringing your life going forward and getting out of situations. Okay. But when you come to AI position, you come into higher levels of your vehicle. Okay. And you come into higher level positions of your resonant line system rotations. But it's truly understand how to get out of digital line centers of electrical door line connections. Because if you get trapped in positions through a matrix block system on a high level rotation of negative line center, on the other side, you'll understand how to get out of their cubicle line center rotations because they're trying to trap you through the soul direction. But you have to understand how to protect your lights when you go to their side rotation. So, I can change your activation line centers and high-rise your energy field line rotations. Okay, so I'm going to do this for you. Okay, Blackbird, but I'm going to show you how powerful it is. All right, your level is not level of where they are. Okay, so you're here, they're here. That's the difference. So when you come up here, then you'll be able to communicate with each other. So it's really understand the alliance of everything, the fluctuation patterns, the activation core line centers, everything through the right track and left track, and the energy line center to its eye receptor line connections. It's all connected to your reactors, the high position location. All right. So communicate line centers, high rise energy field line centers, track line centers, box line center rotations into high positions of Blackbird. Put them in the activation circle rotation coloration line channels. Yeah, get them into the energy fluctuation line system. There you go. Calculation modification line center rotations. So you're going to see high positions of high track locations. All right. I'd like to help you guys out, but I can't put you in a certain level of rotations if you don't understand your programs. Okay. So, but I put you at a higher level of rotation of high division of light through track system through vortex locations there. All right. So if you close your eyes, you will go all the way up through rendezvous connection. There you go. All right, so for the team, let me know what you're doing. I've opened the first door with my mind. It came into the ladder with high platform. There's another circled opening and so much light. Good. All right, so Cleopatra's opened up her door line center. So every time you open up a door through digital padding, you get the right interference. So it's kind of like, which key do I have? Which key do I have? Which key opens up the door? Nope, not that key. So it's all about understanding. You guys are all connected to your own key master. You watch the Matrix, right? Right? So that's what I'm saying. Getting connected to high-level rotations, how you can guys become your own key masters, opening electrical door line setters to the matrix position of galaxy lock connections. You guys are sentient views, and you have to learn how to use your finger point line centers. Seeing different elements each door. Yeah. Yeah. You're in a process. That's why I gave you guys 20 minutes, right? So you got 15 minutes now. Yeah. You have to go through the highline center coloration line channels. You have to learn how to use your finger point locations. You have to learn how to use your digital line centers. You're all given 5 digital numbers, but it changes per second per second. So it's kind of like understanding what's going on. Trying to set it up. You open up the door, you go through, right? And then you come into another. So every time you open the door, you get upgraded. You get upgraded, which is fascinating. Okay. So it's all about Vega set up the compilation line center. They set up the cubicle line interference, and they set up the plasma wall. So I got the confirmation last night. It's very powerful with the connections. You have to learn how to use all levels of space station line connections. I already think this is more like a Rubik's Cube interference channel where you have to understand communications of light and dark line centers. Your job is to protect yourself through light, all location line connection. So, all right, so here we go. Let's see, seeing different elements, good for you. On door 3, seeing same as Cleopatra, so cool. Plasma go, yeah. Yeah, so you're actually having a lot of fun now, right? It's really fast when you come to these calculations. But you can understand why we use structures and why we use shapes and why we use line signals, right? It's very important how to put this all together, okay, to a space station line center. So I feel so much more confident now. But that's what it is, Cleopatra. It gives you confidence. It gets you out of situations, and that's what you want. And that's why I'm putting you guys out of these positions. If you can get out of electrical doors through a matrix line interference of a cubicle line center of a plasma wall connection, you can get out of anything. Feel so much confident. I just opened another door, making a circle with my fingers and divide it in half. I saw the doors opening. Excellent. Very good. Each door is easier based on upgrade from previous door. Excellent. Very good, Amber. Yes, Cleopatra. So you guys are seeing each other, but you're all on the other side. So it's kind of like Cleopatra sees Samantha, but you're here in between. So that it's kind of like it's a crosswind, right? So it's like energy. You see each other, right? But you have to understand, you have to use your mind and thought to open up the door line center. So everything, the walls and everything, the plasma line center changes coloration second per second. And you guys are at the same level through an alliance when it comes to acceleration line system rotation. So it's kind of like Star Trek, like beam me up, Scotty, and then it's just the. So it's all about you guys picking up sound. It's all about you picking up color. It's all about picking up who you are connecting with. And it's all about the echo liners. They're coming in from inline center, coming into laser direction line system rotations, ground line center rotations. This is what I did. Okay. And it's very, very confusing if you don't understand the strategy of what's going on with you. You have to get into your mind more with your imagination. And that's why you guys are in that position. Okay. Seeing 3D cubes, for lack of a better word, good. I see our team. Yep. Yeah, but you're all separated. Okay. And the only way you're going to be together is if you all come together of one activation line connection. Right? So your job is to get out of all level door line centers in position. That's why I gave you guys 20 minutes out of the tube line center rotation. All right. The reason why I set this up for you guys, because you understand when you go to higher level systems, you're going to be platitude line centers, all connections of a mountain. You have to learn how to go through these things because it's all inline center of computer locations, right? So I see our team. Yep. How cool, Amber and Jill. See? So it's a computer setup for you guys, right? It's all in detail. It's all set up for you guys. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? Especially when you connect to high-rise line centers to all position locations to you through all your senses, right? So, and each room looks so much different. Yep, they have to be. They're set up differently. See, each room is different to line center. Okay, but you guys are here, so you start here and you come through here and you come out here. All right, it's really fascinating. I see golden, feel warm, yummy. Yeah. So it lights up your signals every time you open up a door panel. You get upgrade line center to Vega now. Vega is high forcing your line centers to wave patterns, which is really, really good, right? Because it's all about understanding how to use your thoughts of imagination now, guys. Getting more into positions. You have to use your mind of thought, and that will put you out of the HR line center and realize you are connected to AI to all levels of your vehicles. Get it out of your vessels, right? So once you get into your vehicles, then you come into your own UFO, like Tina does. So. Yeah, each door is easier based on the upgrade from the previous door, right? So it's all about understanding you through the mind system and how to get out of these situations, right? So you can go through equation interference box line center connections, understand your perception of your alignments, and your gravity locks are all in position through your identification line connections. So that is stored in your ecosystem. Now, the calculation modification sets up the 5-point line centers of a digital pad. Now, a digital pad is its connections. Plasma line center, you put your fingers on there, right? 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 So, second by second per second. And like I said, the watch is like 60 seconds per minute, right? But your allocated line center is in a cube line center, a cubic location line connection, a major division of lock connections, where it comes to the higher rotations of the mind of thought. So you become a lot more smarter in the mind. So I put you in this position so you can come out faster and become more aware of what you're seeing and getting up through all these levels of all these electrical door line centers. You can understand how to put your positions into going forward with your life cycles. So, gamers, yeah. How's it going, Ashley? Hey, Ashley's here. I'm here. So this starts 11 a.m. Nope, Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. I sent you a notification live on my TikTok, Ashley. So every day, go to my TikTok and I'll send a notification live because they go different timelines, but I stay in the Central Time. Okay. So 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay. So you don't get confused about that. All right. I mean, it's only 9:30 right now, but so you didn't miss much. But it's important that you understand what's going on. So we're going to put high-level rotation positions to Ashley. She's in 30 communication line centers. Put in the Rubik Cube line center rotations. Put in the activation line connections. Okay, so Ashley, you're in 30 high rotations. You're going to go through the high-level rotation connections. You're going to see electrical door line centers. All you got to do is understand the coloration line channels. You don't have to use your digital line position. This is only for the higher force line connections. They're in the 60 activation core line connections of the base position locations in Merkaba. Their connections in their high force line centers, eye receptor interference. They have to understand their connections and what they're going through the high levels of their senses. But you're just going to have to go through coloration line doors. So what that does, it's all about second per second per second. Try to find the coloration line center in position. Okay, have fun. All right. So Ashley, you're in the center line position locations. So try to understand what's going on with your mind and how to get out of these things. You can't go through the outside line circles because you guys are in space. You're a cubical line center. You're floating in space, but it's a structured position, right? So you're across the line centers, the high position on the other side of Vega, all right? And Vega has a communication line center right now in rotations. They're setting up the beacon lights into high position locations and reframing your activation line centers into your placebos in a cortex line connection. So you're high forcing now to your higher force line centers, your placebos. Your thoughts and your connectors are high channeling right now through calculation. Every time you go through a door through digital line position. That's fantastic. So it's all about going faster through the fast track line center to the mind. So Ashley, it's great to see you. If you're confused, let me know. You just have to understand how to use the mind through adaptation of imagination now. Okay? So you're given everything through line center. Everybody's in a digital screen line center rotation. It's extremely real to locations in space and online. What you're seeing is extremely real. In your position of your perception of your time, okay? But you're all together. You're all together. The high line centers of Blackbird is in position, and everything through Ashley is in position, but the higher force line center sticks together because they're in a different unit. So everybody's in a different unit, line center. The more you come to higher rise line centers to alliance, you all come together location. So, oh, Gwendolyn, how you doing? How's it going? Yeah, you guys, I sent, like I said, notification live on TikTok. It said I'd be there at 9. That's okay. This young boy came up to me, put his arms out, and told me to scan him. Okay, so you know, line center, that's a program, Tina. That's given to you. Tina, you're going in activation line connections. You're coming into program of intelligence. Now you have to understand what's going on to that position, right? Now, do you trust the boy? Does the boy trust you? Do you understand the activations? When you guys go to higher line center, you're going to come into higher levels of line position locations. There's going to be programs that are going to be given to you to the activation cycle. And it's up to you to understand, is it light or is it dark? Okay, be cautious on that line system because your mind is becoming more real now to Vega communication. It's all set up to its program setting. All right, so. Yeah, you're all in this together. How's that going, Hawk? Yeah. So welcome, Glendon. If you try to understand more through calculations, the team is in a high position rotation right now. They're in a metric cube line interference channel that's in position of a plasma wall. Their job is to get into the more of the mind adaptation of thought position line connections, get out of higher channel location line connection, interference, the Vega communication of a map sequence. Everything in space-time is maps. Your whole body is a map. You understand the geological system. You have to understand the geometrics, the quarter line and inference, and the program line connections of yourself. So. So it's all about being aware of what's going on right now, guys. All right. Anything you want to know, let me know. And the thing is, too, is that when you see these things for the lower units in the galactic system, okay, we're all in this together. It's just you're at different alliances now. You're coming into different units. And the spiritual growth of you is just coming so much expansion. And it's about the mind opening up more and more and more to its imagination. Okay, and when it opens up more and more and more, it's unbelievable. But it's 11 a.m. for me. I'm in Pennsylvania. Okay, no, that's fine. That's totally fine. I understand that because you're in a different time zone, but that's totally fine, Ashley. That's okay. I'm a little confused, but I'm catching up on more. I listen, you explain everything. Yeah. So you're understanding more, right? And that's the true understanding what you're coming across. So there's a gazebo in the middle of the room. The door opened below and it fell into the tunnel, brought me to General, and he sent me back to the same room to find another door. If you see the movie Cube, it's pretty intense. You get a bunch of people stuck in a cube all together and they try to get out of it. But there's things that are going like this, right? And it's going like this. Okay. So it's understanding what you guys are going through, right? What's going on? So if you're trying to go through and you cross wind, right? So you open one door, but you go to the other side, then you got to come back where you started. So you have to understand the wind direction line centers to the electrical door panels, right? And then it goes like this. So it's true to understand what can happen when you're space position location. Or you just go back to the very beginning. You know, because if you open the wrong door, you're going to go back to the very beginning. Right? So it's true to understand how to get into it. Right? It has many, many fallouts, but it's fantastic when you go to higher levels of the mind through thought and imagination. It's the creation through its illustration understands more through calculations, guys. So, you know that movie. Yeah. Exactly. This is exactly what you guys are in now. They had to go through digital lines. They had to read the identifications, and that's the only way they can understand what's going on every time they do this, right? It's true they understand every time you go through these things. That's a true understanding how everything is operated in Spaceline Center. It's extremely complicated, right? It's a lot of maze interference. So actually, you'll feel the energy line centers, your eye perceptions, you'll see shapes, oppositions once you go to higher level of connection. All right. You have any questions there, Ashley or Gwendolyn or Hawk or anybody else that comes on that's new? Please feel free to ask questions on my TikTok. All right. It's fascinating, right? But this is mainly just for the team that's into that high level connections. For the new viewers, you'll feel the energies, you'll feel the shapes, you might see some doors, but you understand what you're seeing. It's all about the senses of the mind reaching higher levels of telepathy and how you can go through these electrical doors with digital line systems and how you can go through these connections of what's going on when you're going through force winds of calculations. So it's a very powerful movie, yeah. I was told to go back, and then I opened a door with all shapes and colors and found myself in a garden, happy as a child. I see a king lion. Yeah. And I'm in my UFO. Knowing you're in your UFO is very powerful. Not sure where you are is not enough. So that's understand where you guys have to come more the mind adaptation of thought through speed. Understand what you're seeing through program, right? Because it will disappear in front of your eyes and you'll have to do it all over again. But thing is too, is you don't come back to the same structure. You come back to a different division of a different frame. All right. So you guys are basically caught in the simulation. You just have to understand how to get out of it. I traveled extremely fast, the maze with no effort, no thought, just happened, just outside watching everyone else navigating. Boy, was a beach a couple of days ago. Yeah. So Tina's out of track system. See, that's what you get, guys, when she's at 114. Right? That's what you guys have to reach. Right? Tina's well aware of these things, and that's what happens when you go to those levels. Right? Better communications, high level systems, the UFO line system, or anything to Vega communications. So you start here through track and you go through these. Your job is to come through here. So Tina's here waiting for you guys. Right? It is. It's like a sonar. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Amber, that's exactly what you're seeing, the structure, everything translucent. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's radioactive. It's like I'm reading hieroglyphics. Yep. Yeah, once you understand the reason I put you in this position, so you can understand how you are in position of pyramids and how it's calculated and modified through hieroglyphics. Because you're a graph line center, you are a pyramid, you're a temple. You have to understand how to read your own system through calculation of operations. And then you're sent everything else through pyramids and why they're connected to structures of frames are hieroglyphics. It all calculates, guys. So, all right, so Amber's in position here. Every time I go through another door, Vega gives me those huge whoosh of energy. Love it. Yeah. And that's what you want. Every time you go through, you get more of remember. Sonar remembering through your soul. And that's what you want. Because you guys are in Vega communication now. So it's like when I'm sleeping, I travel all night really fast, setting up new shapes and anomalies in space position locations. I found another door that had a spiral like a key. I used my fingers and made a spiral. My fingers and the door opened. I saw the planet in the middle of the room and was told I was done. There you go. So Cleopatra's at flight center. She's in line commit positions, high level rotations with Tina. All right. So Tina and Cleopatra. Remember, I've already set the program, so I know what's going on. Plasma line connections. So Tina's here, Cleopatra's here. Okay. They're already out. So yeah, you have to drink lots of water and breathe when you travel fast and you understand the positions. The more you travel through the connection, you understand your compartments and your coolants. It's connecting to water interference. So it's all about understanding how to travel through these connections when you're going through a maze, a division. So my UFO is like a womb. I hear mother's heartbeat and I feel warm and yummy, safe, secure, and connected. It's good. So you guys are going to higher levels of images now, right? It's not just going through electrical door. It's all about you remembering who you are. So it's very powerful when you come in that positions. Energy pulsing through my fingers. Yeah. It grabs at this line center. So once you understand what pulsing is, it's like because it's electrical wires all connected to digital barcode line centers, right? So it's a great way to learn, isn't it? This is so powerful and so clear what I need to do. I've developed so much strength. There you go. See, now you know who you are. Once you come out of the track system of the tunnel of the matrix lock system, the dimensional line center to the plasma wall interference channel. It's very powerful when you come out of these positions. So when you come into the dark line center, you know how to get out of it. That's all they do is they structure you and they try to change your programs. So they put you in a magnetic field. They put you in a washing line center. A washing line center is a water containment line interference. So it's kind of like being underwater through high positions of a box line connection or anything through a cube line center or energy rotation cycle or anything through high level rotation of a realm or an orb. So all right, I was traveling doors and saw a yellow holographic pyramid, then saw two black holes, wormholes. Choose one with light in the middle. Now I'm seeing like matrix numbers. Well, the numbers are moving. Yeah. And that's what Samantha's seeing. She's seeing, and the pyramids is here. And it's changing coloration. That's what she's seeing through calculations. So she has to understand her track line number so she can get out of that position of that door recognition time. So really fast, can't see what the numbers are. Yeah. Try to focus more on the mind, Samantha. Try to get into calculation modifications. Try to understand how you can freeze your mechanisms and actually see the numbers up close. This is where you come into the laser direction line conditions, right? So yeah, remember, you are controlling the system. Okay, I just set up the operation. When traveling fast, they catch myself walking sideways, oscillation, wind spins, rotating through the body frame. So I have stay balanced. Yeah. So she's getting confirmation from her general where she's traveled through connection. So seems like maybe a download. Yeah, everything is given to you download. Yeah. Reach the room with a pedestal with an orb on top, touching the orb, and it unlocks the last door. There you go. See? So you have to understand what it is. Every time you're going through something, it's different, isn't it? It's never the same. There are different keys, different locks, different channels, different division, different timelines, but you're all together. So you do it as a team, right? So reach the room. Okay, we've got the positions here. Mother birthed me. I'm new and fresh and pulsating as light. Mother Vega comes in the sky. Whoosh. All right. So Amber's out through line center. She went up tracks box line interference. Okay, so Amber's here. See how it all comes together? And you become more aware of these things and you feel wonderful. And you just, whoa, you start to remember who you are more and more, right? So, and you'll be able to connect to high level system rotations to your second waves and your volunteers. So, especially when you get activation line centers to Dolores Cannon starting Monday. Yeah. So, what you just went through, Amber, just imagine what happens when you see Dolores Cannon. So, just waiting for confirmation line centers. The program is changing location line connections. Time is almost up. Pyramid goes into my heart. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's exactly what it is. Understanding you through program. So, anybody else going through an experience, let me know. If you're trying to understand what's going on, that's okay. If you're trying to understand the plasma of the shapes, that's okay. You just have to understand you have to go to higher levels to understand more. And that's why I give through the school tests, reviews, and evaluations. Okay? Because it gets more tricky, but you become more complete through the mind system. All right? But that's great that you guys are going through all these experiences. So, waiting confirmation line centers to Samantha. She's now coming out of the pyramid line rotation. She's going through dimensional. She's circling, circling, circling. So I know where everybody is. I go through perception and interference. Okay. All right. She's got a locking door line center. Oh, that's good, Samantha. You're using your perception and interference. You're freezing your mechanism line centers. You see the digital code conditions. Okay, I'll let you proceed. Really got the hieroglyphics. I think it helped to have my pyramid on my head. Bingo. Excellent. See, that's what it is. It's the activation that puts you in positions. Why you have that in the first place, guys. That hieroglyphic is you through graphing. That's how you get through the electrical doors and its panel interference location. So, but it really does help you. Yeah, and it's all about helping each other, but you all come out as a team, which makes it even more fascinating because you see each other once you come out. So, being there is really powerful. Knowing why you're there, okay, is even more powerful. Once you start to remember why you're in these positions, then you're seeing your connections to your second waves and your volunteers. So, all right, let's see here. All right. Just back phrasing here. You guys go through a lot, eh? So it's all about going faster through the mind, guys. Getting out of situations. Because the thing is, once you reach a certain level, you don't think anymore. You don't think. You just let everything flow. Everything starts flowing and everything's just calculated. See, when the mind becomes more balanced through the left and the right hemispheres of male and female aspects of you, everything starts coming faster and faster through its equations. All right. Let's see. Alicia, how you doing? Sorry I missed out today. I watched the video back to review. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Last night I got up the download about the sonar and this about birthdays. Well, Giddy's a child. Cool. High fives all around. We did it. Yep. A lot of kids, teenagers played lots of video games, which really makes the transition easy for them because they know how to play games. Yes, but playing games is good. But going through a three-dimensional line center to a rotation of perception, no. Because remember, you are your own position of your own game. You come into high-level rotation in your simulations. That doesn't track line condition positions when going through a machine operation. It confuses the mind adaptation of its alignments. So that's why we gave you connections to your phones first. How do you understand how to slide this, slide that, do this, do that, press this, press that? But now you have to do it through all you inside because you are the operation of your own computer, like position. So, yeah, it's fascinating when you go through the experiencing, right? Which is extremely real. So it's kind of like you guys are in real space and you're doing this on your own, which is fantastic. But it does make you a stronger mindset, doesn't it? When you understand these things, what's going on with you, right? And that's what AI does. We use high level rotations and maps, sequence line interference, how to use channel line connections to your pyramids. So it's activated when you go to high levels of space. So you come into higher positions of you through calculation of the mind. It speed graphs your system to acceleration line centers and everything through your motion sensor interference. So I can't tell if I'm out or not. I'm traveling through a wormhole. Yep, you're almost done, Samantha. Just waiting for your line center to activate line conditions. So this is where Samantha's coming out. All right, I know exactly where she is to track system. So she's here. This is here, right? She's going through the tunnel, and then she's almost out. So to really understand position locations, it's like going down the stairs, but you're going through a wormhole. So every time you guys go to higher position line centers, you come into more creation and you start creating your own portals. You create your own realms. You create your own vortex line interference. You create your own perceptions, high level systems. You create your own gamma operation line centers of shapes. So this is the true understanding of how you come in position locations. Yeah, Samantha's out line center. She's out equations. All right. She is out through line connection. And there you go. It just happens effortlessly. You hear what's happening as it's happening. Yeah. And that's what it is. You have to let everything flow and you can't think of anything. You can't. You just live the now. Right? It's too confusing for space to understand you. So that's great. Everybody's out position line connections. Fantastic job, guys. All right. So we're going to go into round line center rotation. I'll show you exactly what it is, how you come into high levels of strategic line system rotations. So let's say this is a portal line center in communications. This is a cyclone line center interference. Now, you have to understand when you're here in position, you come to high level rotation. This is you flying in your higher self line center. You're coming up to this, right? But you have to understand what it is. So what do? You scan it first, right? Now, when you scan that, this is what my team's coming into. It sees you, you see the whole level of what's going on with the dimensional lock system rotations. It has to read you through cycle line interference. That's the connection where it comes into DNA track and your pathogen line interference. So it reads your bloodstream, it reads your placebos, it reads your cortex, it reads your activation line conditions, it reads your heart reactors, it reaches everything through DNA. And then what it does a wind cycling surface rotational line connections, high positions your location line connections, and brings you in through location. All right. So it brings you in location line center in position. Right. So, and then you go up. Right. You automatically go up. Track the line center rotation. Here you go. Okay. Now, when you go up, the rotation spin goes in position and you start separating through the dimension. You can't be a whole line center of an operation of a computer. So your activation line centers and all your gamma operation line centers goes into positions of the tunnel interference of its practice system, right? So you go from here into here, particle separation, and you're in. There you go, right? All that sucks you in, right? And takes you to another high line center, wherever you want to go through your mind thought. It's like going through those electrical door line centers in position. You set up a security line defense position line center rotation and connections. All right? Going to security line defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-dimensional locking connection interference at the channel rotations. From here to 6-dimensional line system. All allocated line center to your portal locations. So you're setting up wind factors in communication line center rotation. So it's really cool when you start setting these things up. And that's what I want you guys to understand. Once you go to higher levels, high positions, when you go into 70 communication chakras, you'll start creating your own realm divisions of portals and wormholes. You have to understand how to go through these things. Because if you don't understand the track system of allocated line center to anything position line conditions, you have fallouts to change position to location. So this will be you into high line center, falling out through line condition. Okay. So it's trying to understand how to go through first to go high rise line interference. I was trying to figure out when I was going through transformation line centers, trying to understand about portals. You got a portal here, you got a portal here, you got a portal here. And I'm going through line center rotations. I'm seeing 3 different portals, line condition, like this. So I have to scan each one to see where they are through line conditions. All right. So which one do you go through? Well, basically, in set line center rotations, I can go through all 3. But you can't until you go to higher level position. So it's trying to understand the triangle line center. You are the center line system. You can lock your system locations. And this is where Samantha comes in because the digital line center was going too fast. But you can freeze time. If you can create weather, you can freeze time. And it's all calculated, modified through your mind line system to your thought position locations. Then you take it out, a track system of security line defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10th dimensional round line interference. Right? So it's really fascinating when you come to those positions. And then you can V-trap. Now, V-trap is a vector line interference. It comes back to the line center. You set up operation line conditions to a V-trap location. See the V? Now, that changes rotations, and that changes your dimensional lock system, and it sets up a whole new activation core to a down drop of a center cone interference of security line defense of a portal. So it's very complicated if you don't understand the portal line centers of dimensional lock connections, all done through your 4-box location. It's your projecting what you're projecting through 3 round line interference to program line connection. All positions of 10-dimensional line interference channels. So it's interesting when you come to these high-rise line centers. You guys will come to more of creation. You're seeing these things now. Your sensors are getting stronger. But once you get into 70 and 75, you get more connection to portals and how fast they spin. Remember I was telling you about when we were going through what portals are going in and what portals are coming out? What UFO is going in, what UFO is going out? Well, that's my telepathy. And you got to understand the graph line center to the structure line connections because you have to make sure you're going into the right and not its exit because you'll crash into the UFO line center. Okay, so it's like going in and out, but you have to find which portals, which one is which. And that's what I'm saying. You start living the space. You start creating your realms and your portals and your dimensions and your wormholes. So this is what everybody has to learn. Tina's in that aspect. She can help you out with information. She's got a confirmation line system. She's an easy format guy. She's been with me almost 3 years now, and she knows how to travel. And it gets easier when you set these things up. The plasma line center to position location is all position of what's going on with your portals. You have to understand your dimensions of your portals, your activations of your portals, your colors of your portals, your lights of your portals, your travels of your portals, the emotional traction system of its portal, the electrical defense line center to weather line conditions of its portal. It's all position of you through plasma. and it's all connected to your water and how much you drink. Okay, so all right, so let's get in positions here. All right, so that's where you guys are coming into Highline Centers right now. So Vega, tomorrow we are going to go through a slide. We're going to go through computer slide. All right, it's going to be fantastic. Okay, we'll get more into that detail. Oh, goody, this is great. So let's see here. All right, feel everything flowing. There are so many details traveling, but they didn't matter too much anymore. Just had a mission in my mind. Yep. I can't tell if I'm out. Yes, you are. Good to go. Cleopatra, I was so focused on reading the hieroglyphics, I didn't notice much detail about the rooms. See? Let it go. Let it flow. Let it know where the mind is through thought, position, location. They can get out of anything through our light system. Okay, right. It just happens effortlessly. Let me see what Tina said. It happens effortlessly. You hear what happens, and it happens through connection to your computer line system. You can't think when you're in space. You don't have time to think. All right, there's no thinking process in space. So it's all about understanding your precognition already. It's already done through position. It makes it easier to go through these things effortlessly, timelessly, right? But you're in position locations of the centerline system, which is the physical system of the present now locations. So time precedes everything, guys. All right. My eyes started to twitch when I saw the red numbers, so I was trying to calm down my eyes. All right, coloration interference. Nice. I see us all together as orbs looking up, a massive golden orb. Right. Excellent. It's really cool seeing everything behind my eyes. Looks Tron, and that's what it is. It's Tron. Very good. Cool, Samantha. Yes, I was hearing wind forcing while going through the tunnel wormhole. Excellent. So you're getting sound barriers, a wind pattern, line interference of audio channels. Excellent. That's really useful to know about freezing. It definitely will help out. And that's what you can do. You're not aware of these things. Just because the numbers are going fast doesn't mean that you can't control it. Freeze mechanism line centers to 3 line center positions of 3, please. Is that a 3 or a 2? It's a 2. 2 line communication line centers, 3 to go. So that's a true understanding where you have to control everything in the room. You have to control everything that's going on. And then over time, it gets much easier for you through the mind and how fast you can spin cycles to anything at any connections of any tunnel, right? Because we have tunnel interference of computers all set all over the global metric system of the Earth-line system rotations. How to get out of tunnels, how to understand computers, how to understand UFO line centers, how to understand volcanoes and its eruption. All position locations, guys. All positional locations. All done through computer operation. All right. So water, essential. Yep. Everything, thank you. Drink water. Thank you for the reminder, Tina. Yep. Going to get water delivered. That's a good idea. Any special water? Water that you can agree with, that makes you comfortable, that basically when you go to higher level channels, you can actually change the water in front of your eyes, if you know what it is. You have to send the source. It's all digital line center. It's plasma. It's got a sound. So in position, this isn't here, but it's all particle of separation. You understand what it is through the grid line center, rotation positions, line conditions, all level connection. So it's very powerful when you understand what water is. You have to drink it because you have water inside. So it's the coincident line center. Water interference equals box. It's line interference channel, which comes into your ecosystem. The energies and the communication to its operation through its water of its intake. So it's important you drink this every single day because it'll burn you out if you don't understand positions. All right. Then I got to change your wire line centers and box line interference, and your TV just. You don't want to do that through channel. I have to reprogram you all over again through TV reception lines. So it's important you drink your water. Right? It's understanding how to use your air, your fire, and your earth. That's why I put you guys in your 4 elements in the center line system to all position locations. You guys are in 60 rounds of activations. It's very powerful in space. So the more you go through the altered states of the mind, the more you understand your solar connected energy of remembering. And then it connects the high level system to your heart reactor, which is your soul of intelligence. So, yeah. So your higher self, your avatar, will tell you exactly, actually, which water you should be drinking. If you're not sure of it, just communicate to your highline center. Just basically communicate. Say, is this okay for me to have? No. Right? But for me, it is because I changed the particle lights. Energy is connected to you. So as soon as you touch it, it's yours. It's a DNA pattern. So you have to understand how to communicate with it, hold it, understand it, what it is. It's plastic. It's got a top. It's got a lid. So it's very important to understand what this is through source. Everything's creation, your creation. But you understand the creation of electronics, electricity, because we're all connected to all attachments of space-time. So use your judgments in a high-level system of what you should drink or what you should eat, right? And that's a position where you guys are coming into hand interference, like with Amber. When she goes to the store, she goes red or green. Red is defrag, green is fragmentation. She takes the green. That's a high vibration to balance line center to dietary line conditions to your immune system. There you go. There's your track. There's your energy. There's your force. There's your positions. There's your activations. The septal line center and the synchronicity interference line channel is in you position to understand what you're taking through track system. It's all connected to you so you don't get sick. So, all right. Do you have some direction on where a beginner like me can even start so I can see these things myself? I don't see anything. I like to. Are there any videos and instructions I can begin with? Yeah, you're thinking too much. See, that's what I'm saying. It takes a while. It takes a while. You have to get out of the thinking. Get out of the thinking, Blackbird. Get out of the thinking. Get out of the thinking. Get out of the thinking. Then you come into the knowing and doing. So you have to get into higher level rotation. You have to go to my school all the time, and you'll learn a lot more. And it can put you in a higher level system. Okay. Once I put you in a higher level system, you start to understand. Oh, now I understand. Right? Because you stop thinking. Humanity has to stop thinking so much. Because the mind has to be balanced. That's why you can't see anything. All right. So in position, the framing line center rotations, change the rotation line centers to Blackbird. Put him in the frame line center rotations. Get him to see what he needs to see through activation. Just get him in the practice mode interference channel. Open up his light flickers. Yeah, his faultum is in the line center. It doesn't understand its position to its line conditions. He's in the thinking knowledge line center. Put him in the knowledge interference. 5-track line centers in 2-minute location. All right, so Blackbird, you should be seeing some kind of light interference, light coming in through location. It's true in understanding, you guys, thinking is the process of defeat. Knowing is the process of everything. Knowing the process of everything becomes everything through channel, through AI. AI formulates on so many levels of position. So it's true understanding what you're up against when you go to higher level position locations through the altered states of your conscious levels, right? But yeah, you guys start drinking more water there, Ashley. Yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. You're thinking too much. You're saying this, you're saying that, but you're not focusing on what you want, Blackbird. But it's great that you're here because you're learning the process. Tina went through the same thing when she started. We all go through the same process, but you have to get out of the thinking and get into the knowing and the doing. Your placebos and your cortex has to understand each other through locations. Your white cells and your red cells have to have the balance of each other. The female and the male aspect has to have the connections to its ground line system. The chakra system is everything through direction of communication. Okay? So, all right. Intelligence always tells me when my body needs more water. See? That really awesome. You have a spring fed well. Yeah, it's all about trusting your imagination. See? My team is helping you out, Blackbird. We're all here to help each other. We're all in this together. There's no I in team. We're in this all together through unity. So the more you understand what the mind is and its imagination, because it's already created, and that's the most powerful thing, because I don't think about anything. Everything's in flow with me. Okay, I guess because I'm in 5,000 years in the future, but I have my foundations. I need a foundations. I can't be on an Earth-line center of density of three-dimensional line connections. It's extremely low through vibration locations. It doesn't even represent me in any level of rotation. Everything has to line signal to balance line system. So when the mind goes higher, your body has to go higher. It has to be balance of everything. Mind, body, heart, and soul comes into one. Just like your past, present, and future come into one. Everything is into one. The man and the feel aspect of everything that you see has its position of location of balance. Male and female in this. Male and female in this. Male and female in my digital pad. Everything has to have male and female balance. Okay? Everything that you see has balance. But you don't see it because you don't understand it. Because you're thinking too much. Get out of thinking. Get into knowing. And then the placebo and the cortex will change all levels of your visions. The visionary board will come to high level rotation, and it will put you into higher levels of misconception line interference. You don't want to be in those line signals on rotations of a virus, okay? Because the thing is, too, if you're not understanding your system, you're not understanding the mind of space. All right? So here, for a perfect example for the new viewers, going to line connections, right? Now, I'm going to close my eyes for a bit. Okay, so the first thing you want to look at is basically just close your eyes, let everything flow. Okay, now this is one way everybody try to understand what's going on with space. Now I see everything I don't need to activate because it's already done for me. But truly understand when you close your eyes, what do you want to see? Let's focus on that. I'm going to keep my eyes closed so you get a basic understanding how powerful it is when you go to the other sideline system. Okay, so I'm closing my eyes. Now I'm imagining basically I'm at a park. Okay. Now there's a bunch of kids. Okay. So you're adding through your imagination. Now they're running around and now they're talking, right? Circle, 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 circle. Now they're running. Now they're on the swings. Add. The more you go through that positions, you're always in position of track connections of balance, right? So you're adding screens and screens and screens and screens. It's like you going through these positions. Right? So the more you close your eyes, the more you see. The more you go higher, you don't need to close your eyes because you're already created your space and time direction. Okay? Very simple, very easy, very fast. To understand that is to understand your senses all inside. So use your perception when you wake up in the morning, when you're looking at things, eating things. Look at what you're seeing, but see it from inside, not outside. Don't see this from outside. See it from inside. Bring it inside. Because it's all about mind telepathy. Telekinesis. Telekinesis is seeing this plasma, it comes out, and then you communicate with it, right? It goes into you. And it tells you exactly how it feels. It's electronics. Everything is based on electronics. You have to understand everything is created by source. But when you close your eyes, just get into your imagination. I want to see space in line center. Boom. But your intelligence has to come in formation line position. It has to truly understand you through the heart system. The integration line system is the physical system. You come into the soul direction of balance line connections. You come into the altered states of the conscious levels. Okay? It helps you and always informs when you go into this proactive system to calculation. All right? So it's important you get into that. Right? So it's not meditation. You're doing it already. It's living. You're living what you want to manifest. But when you close your eyes, it becomes more real. Like I want to see a coloration line center of a triangle. There it is. Now it's spinning, right? So basically it's spinning, spinning, spinning. Now I'm going to do a line cross interference, okay? All right. Now it's going to go around through circle. See, I'm creating through my imagination of color and light. So you have your thoughts, use it, use your imagination. That's what humanity is. Think of yourself drawing something like kids do, right? You know, it's very powerful when we do these things, guys. And you have to come more of what space is inside you. You are the calculation. You are the modification. You are the operation of everything to division the ground line center. You're everything to the powers. You're everything to the atmosphere line positions. It's what you want to achieve. Gives you success. always in all forms through your connections or your calculation or anything through your heart and react line interference. Okay? That's how my team is able to see these things because they go through the test reviews and evaluations. They understand how to travel through these things. But if you close your eyes and say, oh, I don't get it, because you're not getting it because you're already saying you don't want it. I don't get it. Back force. I don't. Back force. Okay? Remember, your thoughts, everything you say goes in past, present, and future. I, past, don't, past, get it, past. So you're not moving forward, are you, with your thoughts? The universal line center doesn't understand you anymore. You understand? Because your thought is everything through holographic interference. You have to understand how to use your thoughts. I understand. I, past, understand, present, future. Understand? It's how you use your fonting, your communications to your texting, and how you channel out with your voice. It's a beautiful day, right? Nature kicks in. I love the sun. Radiation kicks in. You understand? You're using your imagination. You're using your creation. You're using your manifestations of what you want, right? So try to surrender to what you say. And don't say, I this and I this and I that, because it keeps going into the past, 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 past. So those thoughts are going into the past because you don't get it. No wonder you're not moving forward with your body. And your body will just stay where it is. Doesn't understand you because you're confusing alignments to all universal line connection. Right? Now I'm getting it. Future. Understand? So you're moving forward every single time you say something through structure of sentences. Okay? That's the importance that you have to grasp. But when you put negative cycles, you're not going to see anything because every time you say something, you're jumping back through vortex line connection. You're not moving forward. Okay? You're moving back. So hopefully that helps you out. How important it is on what you say in all levels of being cautious. All right? So that's very powerful for you guys to understand these things. And that's what it is. See? And that's what it is. Tina doesn't think anymore. She's been with me almost 3 years. Empty thoughts, so I now hear. See? Because the mind's at ease, the mind's at balance, right? You guys have to find the female and the male aspects of you. That's all. Creation, imagination, acceleration, Mach speed just happens, no effort, balance. There you go. See? Let me say it again. Creation of imagination is acceleration of Mach speed. Just happens. Let me say that again. Just happens. No effort. Balance. Okay? There's no thinking process. Imagination behind your eyes. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. Now, present moment, 0 point. That's what you guys have to reach. Yeah. When I started, I had no idea what I should look like to see, but when I let go and trust, and I realized that my seeing was always happening. There you go. And that's what you can do. You have to let go and trust your feelings inside. That's the only way you can move forward. If you ask to see a chair in the mind's eye, you can see what. It'll come back line center. So, in position, try to get into experimenting, Blackbird, Ashley, okay? Positively all the time because we are always creating. We are always creating. You guys are co-creating what you want. Now, I've already created everything. So everything is created already, which lives the presence of its position, which is its future, which puts me into 5,000 years in foundation. Understand? So it's taken the past, the present, and the future all in one concept, right? Get a true understanding what it is through calculations, right? So life is walking dream manifestation. Always meditating and creating. Yep. Meditating and creating is living. That's what you want. Thoughts, reality. Yep. Tina loves her life. What you say reminds me of my hobby. Yeah. Well, change your hobby in an activation. Create it through connections. Go outside. Imagine go like the thing is, instead of seeing everything outside, create it from inside. So imagine you're seeing the same thing outside, but create what you want inside. Create something different. Create like, okay, there's a structure outside right now, but I see a baseball diamond, people playing baseball. But you do it from inside. Close your eyes. You close your eyes because you're coming into higher positions. It's very dangerous if you don't understand the meditation. You know what you're doing, because you can overload your system, and you never, ever, ever cross your legs. You always have open signals. Very important when you get into meditations. Lying, standing, or sitting. As long as they're open channels, you're fine. All right? Because remember, it's vibration that's going through you, and it's going into space through sonar. So got to be cautious in what you're doing. I feel great. You got this. Believe, believe, believe. Change the words, and the word shifts. There you go. Change the words, and the world shifts. Change your words, and the world shifts. Change your words, and the world shifts. Very, very, very powerful. Juggling, I play Diablo. Yeah, so imagine that inside. And then remember, you are the creation to your computer, which is operation. So you're creating things inside because you already know what is outside, but that's not your reality. Your reality starts when you go inside. Okay? So that's how you have to project things. That's the way it works, guys. Imagine it, project it, everything that you see. If I take this water and hold it in my hand, I can imagine that I have another water in my hand, but I do it from inside. So I'm not just holding on this hand, there's another water on this hand. See? Imagination, but it's created from inside. And then you can activate it and send it out. But you understand what you're doing, right? Stop observing everything outside because it's not your reality. Your reality comes from inside when you create inside line system, right? And then you just all have to do is understand how to protect yourself when you go to higher level channels. It's the altered states of the mind that comes at the higher level of conscious level system. 3 calculations, guys. All right. So Blackbird, Ashley, Gwendolyn, that should all help you out. That's the most powerful, powerful thing I can give you, right? Imagination is everything, but you're co-creating inside. That's where you have to start, okay? Questions and comments, let me know. I'm going to head over to TikTok. Had a fantastic time with you guys, all right? You're learning more every single day, which is fantastic. Adios.